Hello and thank you for joining us to discuss the latest revision of the Form W-8ECI that was released by the IRS. If you're looking for all the new updates for the Form W-8ECI, then you've come to the right place. We'll be running through all the new alterations and details the IRS has published so far. Bear in mind, this is a general walkthrough, so let's get going. First, we're going to look at the face of the form starting with line 4, types of entities. Here the form removes the classification for foreign government and replaces it with two possible classifications for a foreign government. An entity that is controlled by a foreign government, or an integral part of a foreign government. These new entity types now align with the same Form 1042S entity type codes. Next up we have the new line 12. This line is titled Securities Dealer Exception from Section 1446F Withholding and includes a checkbox. The checkbox allows non-US securities dealers to certify that any gain from the transfer of a publicly traded partnership (PTP) interest is effectively connected with the conduct of a trade or business within the United States. This representation applies to each transfer of a PTP interest associated with each Form W-8ECI, unless there is a specification otherwise on line 11 or in an attachment. As a reminder, line 11 is for specifying each type of income that is or expected to be received from the payor that is effectively connected with the conduct of a trade or business in the United States. Our next line has been updated across most withholding certificates. On Form W-8ECI, we see this in line 8A, Foreign Tax Identifying Number, FTIN, where account holders must enter their FTIN, which corresponds with line 8B. Check if FTIN not legally required. This line is for account holders otherwise required to provide an FTIN on new line 8A to indicate that they are not legally required to obtain an FTIN from their jurisdiction of residence. Now, before we move on to the instructions, we have a little update regarding the final certification section. It seems the checkbox for certifying you are the individual identified on line 1 has moved slightly. On the 2017 revision, it was below the signature box. Now it's located above. So, that's all of the updates to the face of the form. But what about its instructions? Well, we start with all the new updates we just discussed regarding the face of the form. Then we have section 6050Y-B reporting. Form W-8ECI, usage by a non-US seller of a life insurance contract or interest therein for purposes of reporting required under section 6050Y-B. See Regulation section 1.6050Y-3F1. And lastly, the instructions have been updated to include additional guidance in the final regulations issued under Chapter 3 regarding the use of electronic signatures on withholding certificates. These rules state that a withholding agent may rely on an electronically signed withholding certificate if the beneficial owner provides any additional information or documentation requested by the withholding agent to support that the form was signed by the beneficial owner, or any other person authorised to do so. The instructions also include a reference to the corresponding regulations. Generally speaking, withholding agents do have a 6-month sunset period before they must begin collecting the October 2021 revision of Form W-8ECI. For those making payments subject to Section 1446 updates, they may want to consider collecting Forms W-8ECI with these new certifications prior to making payments in the 2022 calendar year. Well, that was a brief walkthrough of all the new details the IRS has provided regarding the Form W-8ECI and its instructions. If you found this video useful, we provide comprehensive training on our premium subscription-based platform Comply Pro. Our CPE certified training courses are full of interesting topics designed to get you up to speed on all things information reporting and withholding. We're working closely with our subject matter experts to bring you new content, including line-by-line walkthroughs of the forms themselves. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time.